Good evening. It's 6 o'clock on Tuesday, the 12th of September 2017. Welcome and thank you for joining us tonight for the English edition of Aura News, bringing you the day's national top stories translated into English 6 days a week. Giving the first speech as Member of Parliament, Democratic Party Chairman Azem Basha declared the government's program to be just a document, without any value and without any content. Mr Basha announced the end of the political agreement he reached with the Prime Minister on May 18, explaining that free elections were the core of the agreement and that, according to him, this condition was not met on June 25. The DP chairman did not ask any questions regarding the government's program, but he harshly rejected it. Free and fair elections were the core of the May 18 agreement, so June 25 marked the death of the agreement. And if June 25 killed the agreement, September 9 buried it. Not only the selection of Rama's Ruchi as Assembly Speaker, but also the Mafia Act of buying 2 votes from the opposition showed that you do not want cooperation with your opponent, but you always choose manipulation and buying of votes, said Mr Basha to the Prime Minister. According to Mr Basha, important names from the majority represent crime and, for this reason, he calls on the Prime Minister to take action. The Democratic Party chairman demands the Prime Minister to dismiss Mr Ruchi as Assembly Speaker and Fatmir Jafai as Minister of Interior, and also to arrest the brother of the Minister of Interior in order to improve the image of the country. The DP chairman also highlighted the need to realise the electoral reform, which, according to him, will bring the real representation of citizens in Parliament. Mr Basha considers the governance of Prime Minister Rama to have been a failure, with no investments, increased poverty and increased debt. According to the DP chairman, this is also the only government that has made no achievements regarding European integration. Discussions in Parliament regarding the government's program have been in progress since this morning. All the members of Parliament have given their comments on that which has been outlined by Prime Minister Rama. Democrat MP Sali Berisha continued his accusations against the government, declaring the Prime Minister to be connected with crime and adding that foreign embassies are advising foreign investors to avoid Albania due to the climate here. Apart from the constitution with laws, there are also moral constitutions of the person, of the nation, of men and women, which stems from their spirit. But in this moral constitution, you are big losers. In the moral constitution, you appear as a real pseudo-majority, said the former Prime Minister Berisha. Reaching the 20-minute point of his speech, the DP MP was interrupted by the Assembly Speaker, Rama Ruchi, who advised the allowable time limit had been reached. Despite this, the former Prime Minister made efforts to continue with his speech, but the Assembly Speaker interrupted him, saying, "Mr Berisha, your time is over. Please sit in your place and do not oblige me to take disciplinary measures." At this point, the Democrat MP left the podium and returned to his seat. The Minister of Interior, Fatmir Jafai, responded to Mr Berisha, saying that the Democratic Party is in harmony with slandering. The Minister of Interior went on to say that the government's challenge is reaching European standards regarding order and security. Mr Jafai said that the government will draft an ambitious plan with 10 crucial points in order to make the achievement of European standards possible. Greek media have commented on the Prime Minister's speech in Parliament, especially on the statements made about Albania's relations with Greece. Most of the Greek media posted parts of the Prime Minister's speech without making any comment. One newspaper, summarised by citing Albanian Prime Minister Rama, considers Greece to be the only neighbour country with which Albania has bilateral problems. The newspaper added that the Albanian Prime Minister wants reciprocal relations, mutual respect and strategic cooperation with Greece. "We want reciprocal friendship with Greece and cooperation," writes another Greek newspaper, adding that the Albanian Prime Minister promised that the Albanian government's interest in the Greek minority will be increasing. Most of the media have highlighted the part of the speech where the Prime Minister Rama expresses his confidence that the future will bring the desirable solutions for both parties through real dialogue, and that the relations will be taken to another level of friendship, respect and strategic cooperation. Only a few media outlets, mostly known for their outspoken stances, have considered the Prime Minister's statements to be provocative. At this stage, there has been no official reaction to the Prime Minister's statements from Athens. On the second day of his official visit to Italy, President of the Republic, Ilir Meta, was received by the chairwoman of the Chamber of MPs in the Italian Parliament, Laura Boldrini. President Meta praised the excellent relations and strategic partnership between the two countries and expressed his gratitude to Mrs. Boldrini for the contribution she gave to eliminate tax on Albanian transport vehicles. President Meta also praised the contribution Mrs. Boldrini has given to northeastern Albania as a representative of the UNHCR. More cooperation with Italy, recognition of the contribution of Albanians living and working there, and intensification of relations between the two countries were the main points of discussion between President Ilir Meta and the chairwoman Laura Boldrini. They agreed on boosting legal initiatives which will pave the way for implementation of concrete projects. President Meta and Mrs. Boldrini also paid a special attention to the progress of regional cooperation. The Democratic Party today commemorated the 19th anniversary of the murder of Azem Hajdari, the former leader of the December movement. Democratic Party members paid homage to the memorial of Hajdari, laying wreaths and making political promises. The DP chairman vowed not to allow the establishment of a new dictatorship of crime and drugs in Albania. We are here with the determination not to betray the memory and the values of Azem Hajdari, who fell in the internal altar of democracy. We are here to pledge that we will never accept a new dictatorship of crime, drugs and autocracy. Fighting against them, we will honour the memory of Azem Hajdari, said DP chairman Basha. The historic leader of the Democratic Party had a more direct message for the Democrats. Let us rise each time we fall. Let's continue the battle, more determined than ever, for our ideals, for which he gave his life. Let us be inspired by the courage and braveness of our legendary hero, and in order to establish the ideals for which he fell, said Berisha, implying unity among Democrats following the loss in the June 25 elections. But the most meaningful message during the homage was given by the daughter of Azem Hajdari, who was only 10 years old when her father was killed. Today, she sits in the chair her father left empty in the Albanian parliament. I will work every day to see his ideals in place, pledged Rudina Hajdari as her voice shook with emotion. Earlier today, Prime Minister Rama dedicated a message to the leader of the December movement, wishing his daughter Rudina to become the righteous voice of her generation. The Institute of Statistics has publicised its report for the second quarter of 2017, with data showing that the unemployment rate has decreased since this time last year. The unemployment level for the second quarter of 2017 is calculated at the lowest level recorded in the last 5 years. According to Instat data, the employment rate of men is 18 percentage points higher than the employment rate of women. Despite this, the employment rate of women this quarter has been positive. The service sector continues to be that with the highest contribution to employment levels. In annual terms, the report shows that the increase of employment is 9% in the service sector and 2.5% in the industry sector. Data shows that agriculture has suffered a decrease in employment levels by 1.7%. The report also highlights that youth employment is on the increase. Following the completion of the new boulevard, the City Hall is preparing for the next steps in the project to transform the city. Next in focus is the project for the Central Park, the train station and the rehabilitation of Tirana's River. Tirana's Mayor, Erion Veliai, expects this major project to be approved by the City Council by the end of this month. The new Central Park is expected to be constructed to a size 6 times bigger than that of Rania Park, while the rehabilitation of Tirana's River will see the areas turned into spaces that can be used for physical activities. The Mayor asked for a meeting of the City Council as soon as possible in order not to waste any time in implementing the project. We should gather the City Council in order to approve the last part of our urban plan, which has now been completed in detail and is ready for implementation, said the Mayor. Mr. Veliai went on to add that the capital's population is increasing every day, and as such, so is the need for housing. Considering Tirana to be the Little America of Albania, the Mayor said that there will be housing constructions following the implementation of the urban plan. That's all for our English edition this evening. My name is Alexandra. Please join me again Monday through Saturday at 6 p.m. for your local news in English. On behalf of Aura News, thank you and good night.